And we're recording. There we go. All right, my friends. Welcome, everybody. We've done our check-in earlier. I also want to say hello to people who are joining us on Instagram Live and to people who
God, we're live.
broadcast. We are live. Well, at least I'm live, actually. I have the camera this way. So you guys are you're protected. Although everybody can see. Even my teammates. Love them. Love them. Okay, so our topic for today ties into just the next point in our growth action plan. We've already talked about goals. We've talked about our nutrition. We learned that we need to be a hoe for H2O. We've already talked about intensity with exercise. So now we're moving into a topic about personal development and growth. And I want to take an angle about this, and that's how we got our title of How Are You So Dang Positive? Positive and I don't know about you, but when I'm kind of around on social media, I look at people who tend to be happy and like I'm attracted to them. Is there anybody else who's like that? Like, if given a choice between spending time with somebody who is a sourpuss and complaining all the time compared to somebody who has a little bit more energy, who's smiling, who looks like they're doing things, I tend to be more attracted to that second person. So that's what we're talking about here. And if you are on your own personal development journey, just for yourself, this topic is going to apply to you as you're just trying to live the very best life possible. You're in this 360-degree self-development track. So there's the application there. And then secondly, if you are building any sort of business, if you are trying to grow your social media presence, this is going to be one of the main things that cause people to be drawn to you, which is exactly what you want as you're building your business and as you're kind of trying to grow your brand of who you are on social media. And that goes for us in our fitness business, as well as, if you're trying to grow your brand outside of your fitness business, like if you're an actor, or if you're a musician, or if you're writing a book and you want to share with people what you're doing. So all of this is really tying in together on multiple levels. If you can, go ahead and pull out a notepad, because I do want to have you take some notes. Either notepad, or you can take notes in your phone. And I have my notes on my phone down here, so I'm going to be occasionally glancing down. Okay, so I've got like 19 different points, and I'll go in a little bit of depth with some of them, but I really just want to kind of cast them out to you, have you write them down so that you can really be processing these throughout the week. So on the topic of how are you so dang positive and hopeful, my very first topic is exercise. So people who exercise creates endorphins, and endorphins make you happy, and happy people just don't murder their husband. The wisdom of Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. And all of us here are exercising as much as we can, and we're checking in and supporting each other. And that's just kind of one of the benefits, just the physiological benefits of working out. And yes, it sometimes is really hard, and you can be exhausted and you can be super sore. But I know for me, that sense of accomplishment after a really good workout really helps me to feel much better during the day. And in all honesty, when I'm on my rest days, I'm a little crabby because I don't get my endorphin fix on those days. Just be really mindful about your mood on the days that you work out. The second point is hope and positivity is not something that you have. It's something that you generate. So imagine that you're like a power plant. A power plant doesn't just have energy. The power plant actually transforms energy and it creates energy. So it takes fuel and then transforms it into energy. And we are the very same way. So hope and positivity is not something that you just kind of wait around for other people or other external influences to come in and give you. It's something that you generate yourself. We have to take responsibility for that ourselves. My third point, and these are not necessarily in any sort of logical order, and maybe I'll get through all of them, maybe I won't. But I think this is really important, and that is keeping perspective. So every time I feel like I'm in some sort of a struggle where I'm telling myself, no, I can't, or, I'm all alone, nobody understands, my life is so hard, the thing that really helped me to kind of turn things around, oh, yay, Jenny's watching on Instagram Live as well. The thing that really helped turn that around for me is stop and think, are there other people in this world who have the same or greater challenges that are breaking through them, that are deciding not to let those challenges stop them? And, there are incredible, you can just do a YouTube search. You can see people who have way more physical difficulty than I do, who are like, rocking their fitness. There's this guy with cerebral palsy around who has this awesome video where he's like holding on to the treadmill, and he's like the treadmill is moving his legs for him, and he's saying, but I'm just doing this, I'm rocking this. And there's so many examples of people out there who have more schedule challenges than I do, who are busier than I am, who have less money than I am, who have less time, all of these challenges. And I think the same is true for every single one of us, if you're searching hard enough. So really keeping perspective. The next point is take time to integrate your successes. So I don't know about you, but for me, it's very easy for me to have some sort of a success or an accomplishment and then to kind of immediately move on from that. To say like, okay, check, cool, what else? Because, we are goal directed, a lot of us, and we really want to kind of push toward our best. But the danger in that is that we don't take time to be present and acknowledge ourselves for the good things that are happening. And so if we never take time for that, it doesn't really register in our brain that anything good has happened. So that in the times of challenge and struggle, we kind of forget about those successes and those accomplishments as if they never happened. So if you're having a success, like today DJ is finishing 21 days straight of his workout, like that's massive. It's a huge success. And DJ, I hope you do whatever you need to do for the rest of the day to just celebrate yourself for that, because you absolutely deserve it. And that's going to help when things get hard next time, because they will get hard next time. We know this. It's just a big cycle. So take time to integrate successes. Next point. I've been probably more addicted to watching the news and social media in the last several weeks than is probably personally healthy. And it has a huge impact on my mood, on my outlook, and my perspective. And there have been times when I've just been like, I have to shut everything off because I can't handle, I can't process, I don't have the energy to like have my walls of explanation up. So if you feel tired and down and low, try unhooking from watching the news as much. Try unhooking from scrolling through all of the political posts on Facebook that are everywhere. Yes, I see, Pete, your comment about working for a TV station. We all do what we can with what we have in the moment, right? Okay, next point. Okay, so being proud, being hopeful, being positive is a natural byproduct when we feel like we're making progress in a meaningful area. It just happens naturally. Just like, when you were a kid and you made a finger painting that you loved and you're so excited, you showed your parents maybe, or you showed your teacher, and you're like, yay, look at my picture. And then they put it on the refrigerator and it was so cute. You didn't have to manufacture positivity or hope or excitement. It was just a natural byproduct because you did a cool thing. So I think sometimes we don't always feel that sense of positivity and hope because we're not always super clear on what is most meaningful to us. So that we're so busy doing the daily tasks that go throughout our day, whereas we get to the end of the day and we're like, what have I done? I don't even remember what I did. Have I actually made progress in things in my life that are meaningful to me? So I would encourage you, if you ever feel like that, like you get to the end of the day and you don't know if you really made progress, start by writing things down that are meaningful to you. If that means it's your workout, or you ate right, or you connected with a friend, or you mentored somebody, or you booked an audition, or you wrote a chapter in your book, whatever that is, just get really clear about what is meaningful to you so that you can start to make time to make progress. So make time for what is meaningful to you, and positivity will just be a natural projection of that. A couple more points, and I know I'm going through rapid fire. Hope you're all able to breathe while we're doing this. Okay, so about accomplishing things that are meaningful to you, it is essential that we believe that we can figure it out. So sometimes before the thing we're doing, it's very natural to feel intimidated that we can figure out this challenge or problem or goal. And it's very easy to say, I don't know, just throw up your hands. However, the first step in being able to accomplish a goal is believing that you can just figure it out. You've figured out hard things in the past. You've made it over challenges in the past. Use those successes that you have integrated, which goes back to how important it is to integrate your successes, because that gives you the belief and the confidence that you can figure out the next thing. And of course, staying persistent. Persistence is what creates consistency. It's not a magical formula. It's not a mystery where you're like, oh my gosh, I have no idea how this successful thing happened. Well, you did the work. You were consistent. 2 + 2 = 4. If you eat really good food for you and you move a lot, then you're going to feel better. It's just the way the universe works. So staying persistent with the things you know are right for you is going to bring you there. And then on the flip side, have patience and be graceful with yourself. Not one of us is perfect. Not one of us is on 100%. We have these days where, we feel like we've left something out, or we have absolutely messed up, or we've even intentionally self-sabotaged. It happens. You're not alone, and it's okay. The body is resilient. Our life is resilient. You've bounced back from harder things in the past, and you're going to bounce back from this. So just have that grace for yourself that it's going to be okay, and draw upon the community of people that we have here. And then the last thing, two more things I want to share. So this has to deal with what's going on outside of you. So a lot of these points are kind of like how you're managing yourself. This next point is how you're creating an environment around you. Imagine if you're having a difficult day and you go to your best friend's house, think of a friend of yours that just has great energy, that whenever you spend time with them, you just feel more relaxed. Your anxiety is lower. You feel more hopeful, enthusiastic. Maybe they're hilarious and they make you laugh. Spending time with them helps you to feel better, right? So if you want to have kind of this natural sense of positivity and hope, it's really in large part a reflection of the people around you. So of course, if there are a lot of negative influences around you, then that can be a sign of how much time you're willing to spend in that community. And it's not about cutting people out of your life necessarily, but it's about kind of maybe being intentional with the amount of time that you give to certain people in your life and kind of owning your time and your schedule. But you can also create that community around you by actually shining a light of positivity on other people. So when your friend comes to you and starts talking about a success that they have, cheer them on, have enthusiastic support and positivity toward them. That's going to make them feel so good. And they, in turn, will reflect that back to you. It's kind of like you're charging a battery, and then that battery is going to be charging you later, maybe when you're going to need it. Doing that as opposed to, the kind of person, maybe you've experienced this, where they always have to be in competition with you, or they always have to kind of one up you, where they say something like, oh, that's really cute that you did this, but I did this. And then you walk away from that conversation and you feel like total crap, right? Like that's just a terrible, terrible thing to do to other people. And so, of course, we hate it when other people do that. But for some reason, when we've done it ourselves, and I'm guilty of this, for some reason, it just feels like the right thing to do at the time. And so it's not that they're being, intentionally terrible people, but it just feels like, that's the way that they're communicating how they're excited for you, maybe. I don't know. But just really being mindful of just living in the joy of the people around you and giving them that spotlight and helping them to feel important. Is the name of the game. And that is going to be incredibly magnetic to the kind of person that you want in your life. Because the energy that you put out is going to be the energy that comes back to you. And the final point is have a statement for other people as you pass by them and as you interact with them. If this is something, a stranger you pass by on the sidewalk, if this is somebody that you're interacting with on social media, if this is a family member, if this is, a coworker, you can have a statement. And a great example of a statement that you, like a mantra that you give to another person is, I wish nothing for you but joy, health, and love. Actually wishing that on another person is going to change the way that you interact with that person. If they're having a bad day and they are being a little ornery, it helps give you the strength of kind of your own gravity, so that you're not kind of sucked into whatever difficulty or challenge that they're having. And it helps you to respond in such a way that, maybe helps them to see the light for their own life. So having some sort of a statement, it can be that, it can be something else, but wishing a blessing on the people around you is going to help to create that community around you. And that community is just going to be reflecting all of that positivity and hope into you, so that you don't have to work as hard to be a bright light in a dark area. Kind of creates a little solar oven. So all of this, just in summary, is part of our growth action plan, and this is part of the personal development. So I highly encourage that every single one of us, in the same way that you're plugging into great nutrition, you're plugging into great workouts, you're checking in with your accountability and our group here, that you're also making the time for personal development by reading a few pages in a great book, by pulling up a YouTube video of an inspiring speaker, by talking to a person that you know is going to make you feel great, by going to a conference that helps you to get a fresh perspective on life. Just as important as working out your body is working out your mind and your heart and your soul. In fact, that's probably more important, because that's the thing that's going to keep your body going. So that's our presentation for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Instagram Live. I'm going to turn off the Instagram Live and just check in live with the group here. We'll shut off the recording. But I just really appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I hope that this was very helpful. So here's turning off the video. Awesome. And stop.